Welcome to It Happened in Grand Prairie, Texas. We're so delighted that you're in our viewing audience. Hope you'll hang in there with us because we have such a wonderful happening today. It is our history tape number 672. And behind those numbers is going to come some wonderful happenings with two very wonderful people. First of all, on my immediate right, I have Dr. Susan Hull, the Superintendent of Schools of the Grand Prairie Independent School District.
Thank you, Ms. Ruthie.
And they are very independent under her direction. And we're so glad to have you with us, my dear.
Thanks. Glad to be here. Always glad to be here.
You're great for a history item. That's wonderful.
I've seen a lot of
and
history.
Amy Sprinkle, my dear. Grand Prairie, and especially the city of Grand Prairie, could not do without this lady.
Oh, yeah.
So we have two majestic ladies here that are going to bring us history that's identifiable only by the two of them. And what's happening history-wise in Grand Prairie, Texas?
The thing that happens in every school district in May is you start hearing about all the students who are going to state contests and national contests and who are performing and receiving scholarships and all of the things that cause them to make history.
Yes.
And one of the things that is almost a problem for us right now is that we have so many kids being so successful at the regional and state and national level that we're going to have to increase our travel budget for our kids to go to these contests.
Yes.
We have more than 100 students from DeBisky Career High School who have competed at the national level, not the state level, but the national level, which means they won at the state level. Our fine arts programs, as you know, are phenomenal.
Yes.
We have students competing at the UIL state level, which is as high as UIL goes, but also participating in many national competitions. We just had a young man win a national pros competition that he travels to the East Coast for. Our athletic programs are incredibly strong. You know what our basketball team did this year.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that the Grand Prairie Gophers basketball program right on their heels. We're really, really pushing them. So I'm looking for both of those programs to be strong. We've had spring football and are getting really excited about what's going to happen in the fall. Academically, we have already received word of more than $15 million worth of scholarships.
Wow.
One of those is a Dell Scholarship, which is $20,000 a year. We have had students receive internships, paid and unpaid internships at places like Holt Caterpillar, Fresh Foods. All of our local businesses honor our kids and bring them in as interns and then realize what great employees they're going to be. So the biggest problem I have right now is finding the money to send all these kids and their sponsors to state and national competitions where they shine. It's a good problem to have. It's a great problem to have.
You've just got to print money.
Yeah, I was thinking that I might talk to Amy about that later.
Yes.
I have a color copier.
You print it.
Really
You print it at the city, right?
Yeah.
That's what we thought. Two of the most exciting things on the horizon are the opening of the Ellen Ochoa STEM Academy at Milam Elementary
Yes.
and the De Zavala Environmental Science Academy Elementary School.
Yes.
Both Milam and De Zavala are brand new facilities that are replacing the older facilities. They're replacing facilities that were built at a time when space requirements were much less, when life safety requirements for kids like sprinkler systems and alarms and firewalls were much less, when certainly we could get by with one electrical outlet in a room and no room for the technology needs. I believe that Milam was even built as a vintage school and we came in later and put HVAC in. So Milam and De Zavala are brand new buildings. They are both built architecturally in a way that the architecture of the building supports the program. For example, At Milam, our intent is for a student to walk into the Ellen Ochoa STEM Academy at Milam and feel as if they are engineers or rocket scientists or making medical breakthroughs. And when you have a chance to visit that building, you will see the design where we put the art facilities next to the science facilities because they complement each
Yes,
other.
they do.
The outdoor learning area where students can experience how the water tables work. Huge display cases. We want student work displayed every place. The building itself lends itself to engineering and architecture because there are places where kids can look up at the ceiling and see the open ductwork, see how the building's put together. At De Zavala, there's a very strong focus on science and environmental science, even to the point that the roof of the building collects rainwater, which goes into rain barrels, which will be used to irrigate all of the gardens and all the outdoor learning centers. We will actually have a facility for chickens. We call this the Urban Chicken Project. And we want kids to see the cycle of where food comes from. It all fits in with being healthy, with sustaining our planet, with being responsible for the next millennium. And so those are two very exciting pieces. Our LBJ campus, our Johnson campus, is closing as an elementary school. The students in those attendance zones will go to one of the two newly built schools. The folks at LBJ, the teachers, the parents, the students, the PTA, the principal have just been wonderful, and they are having a big celebration to say goodbye to LBJ, celebrate the history, and then that school will be repurposed very soon. So
you're making it so exciting. They have to want to go to school.
Those are some great things to happen, and those STEM programs, those science programs, feed directly into our middle schools and our high schools, where those same programs exist.
That is wonderful. You've been busier than a cranberry merchant.
We've been busy.
You have really been busy, and not only that, you've delegated it to all of the boys and girls in all of those different schools, and the change of the name and the change of the purpose of each and every school that you, almost all that you have in your assembly.
When you let people own the achievement, then you get what you expect, and we expect excellence, and that is what we get from our folks, from our teachers, our parents, our administrators.
Now all of this is under the umbrella of schools, but I notice with a great deal of interest that you also have, you pull in from the city of Grand Prairie, from the police department, from all of the other departments that we have. If there's something in there that you can use, you meld it into your assembly, and you give it to somebody to follow.
Miss Ruthie, I've been a superintendent for 23 years in 5 different school districts, and I have not ever had the privilege of working with a city as fabulous as Grand Prairie. Very often the relationship between a school district and the municipality it serves is lacking in communication, is lacking in real work, but the collaboratives that we have with the city of Grand Prairie are meaningful and real and successful and cost effective for the people of Grand Prairie. It's building the future, and sometimes the program is so natural, like the youth boxing program with the police department, that I forget to brag about how great it is.
Well, of all of the things that have come to my attention, it has been just spectacular that you have pulled in the chief of police from Grand Prairie, and for some reason he either falls directly in front of you, and you just pick him up and take it through through all of this, and it's been wonderful.
You know, Miss Ruthie, I have to tell you, the chief of police from Grand Prairie came to me, and he came to me with some great ideas. and it's become a relationship where my departments and his departments communicate and come up with things that are good for kids and good for families. And we've dealt with some tough things. I've been to a lot of funerals this year.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time that does involve a police effort where they communicate with me
Yeah.
very, very early on a Sunday morning or on a weekend so that we can have grief counselors ready when school opens back up. So it's just become a very good partnership, not just with the police department, but with the entire city, with Tom Hart, with Tom
Yes.
Cox, with
Yes.
our elected officials. And we know we can always call
And
on
Andy
him.
White.
Andy White, right, who serves with us on the
Mm-hmm.
on the
He's
Lifeline
on the
board.
Lifeline board
Yes.
too now.
Yeah.
Oh yes, it's majestic.
One thing that people may not know about just yet that we're real excited about, and an area that Grand Prairie is ahead of everybody in almost everything. One area where we were not ahead and have not been ahead has been in the realm of technology
Yeah.
for our teachers and for our students. We've been okay, but not great. But if you think about a 35-year-old teacher, they grew up in a digital world. They didn't grow up in the world that I grew up in. They grew up expecting, they didn't grow up using standard shift cars and,
Yes.
and non-power steering. They grew up in a very digital world, and those are very natural tools for them that they need when delivering instruction. So one of the things I'm really excited about is this year, every teacher is going to receive an iPad for their instructional use, and either the type of laptop that they want. They can either have a PC product or a Mac product. The training that goes with that, because what we have to do in schools now is we have to deliver faster
Yes.
because there's more information.
Yes.
There's,
Changes.
information reinvents itself every 6 months.
Yes.
So we're very excited about that, and all of our teachers know now. But I want folks to know that we're going to live in this digital world, and we're going to live in this century, and the place where our kids are going to be working, they're going to be prepared for it.
I wanted to let you know that I had one of my prayers answered in such a majestic way. I like the way your election came out for your school board this time, and I saw guys and ladies, or there are no ladies on it, but guys that were making changes in their presentation, and they made an A. Some of them made an A+. And I was so thrilled to see that the experienced ones that were returned seemed to fall under the umbrella of the things that I wanted to see for boys and girls, and they were willing to go to the bat and go to the mat also to get things for boys and girls through you.
You know, Miss Ruthie, I work for whoever this community elects. I'm a servant. I serve the board. I
Yes.
serve the community. But one thing that people have to remember about a school board is a school board is not the same as a city council,
No.
not the same as the legislature.
Yeah.
Here's the name. You are a member of the Board of Trustees. That means you are a trustee for children, elected by adults, but elected to do the very best you can to serve all children.
Yes.
And that's a very distinct difference than almost any other elected position.
And besides that, you have a composite of all of the students, and if you took them individually and marked them under different little, I guess you'd say categories, you got a majestic job to do.
We've got a lot of kids, 27,000 kids. More than 35 languages are spoken by our children in Grand Prairie. All levels of poverty, from all kinds of backgrounds.
Yes.
And they're great kids. They are amazing, resilient kids.
I want you to look with me up toward that 15 that's there.
Mm-hmm.
We've been visiting about 15 minutes, but we could have gone for 35 or maybe 40, but I'm going to have to go over.
Oh.
And then if Amy leaves me enough time on Lifeline, then we're going to come back to you. So you be thinking about something real exciting that you'll just knock me off of my can. Off of my can.
Okay, but Lifeline is that thing.
Yeah.
Lifeline is really, really exciting.
It is really exciting, isn't it?
It is. It does really good
All right,
work.
Amy, tell me something about Lifeline Shelter.
Well, you know, Lifeline does such important work in the community. Our goal is to reduce and eliminate homelessness
Yes.
among our Grand Prairie school kids.
Yes.
And it's very hidden in Grand Prairie. The kids may be living in a car, they may live in a hotel, they may live from family member to family member to family member as people move.
Yes.
And that moves them from school to school to school. That's disruptive to the learning process. So our goal is to stop and eliminate that cycle, and we do it on a case-by-case basis, working through the school district.
Yes.
We help hundreds of families due to the very generous donations of the community and some very special grants that we're able to get. But our biggest fundraiser is coming up June 13th.
Yes.
At the Ruthie Jackson Center is our annual luncheon and auction. Last year we made $90,000. It was a huge year for us last year. We hope to try and match that this year. So we've got some great auction items. We do a live and a silent. We have a fabulous raffle. It's fun. Boy, everybody, you see people you haven't seen all year at this very well attended event. So we're hoping that everybody turns out again, brings their pocketbooks with them. We've got some fun things. We've got mentioned the Milam school, the old school, coming down because the new school is completed. One of the items that the school district's donated to the auction is the original school bell from Milam. Okay,
From
so we're
Milam
talking
School.
like when I was growing up, school
yes.
bell.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
all is it brass, bronze?
We think it's brass.
Brass.
I didn't clean it because
Loud
the
and dingy.
antique people
Yeah,
say
no,
leave it in
don't
the
mess
the
with it.
patina.
Right.
Yeah,
I wanted to shine it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, no.
I said no.
no. And so they've donated that incredible piece of history of Grand Prairie as an auction item. So we're very excited to have that. One of their master carpenters put it in a lovely framed box.
Yes.
It's perfect. It's ready to hang on a wall.
And he did that on his own time. That's his donation.
Aww.
Yeah.
They're also donating another one of our, that's a big live auction item for us. Another big live auction item is the very popular, we call it Crosstown Rivalry. So on the night that the Gophers and the Warriors play, I don't know how many people can go up into the media box, right?
I think we have a certificate for four
For
people.
four.
Oh, that would be
and
a-
that includes food
Ah.
and beverage,
And watching the
non-alcoholic
game
beverage,
from
and
the
watching the game, and
from upstairs.
And be treated like a king
Yes.
and
Yes,
a queen. and
best
all
seat
of the
in
good
the house.
stuff.
So that's always a popular. We're excited about that.
Yes.
Some other fun things. We've got firefighter of the day. So if you're over 16 and you want to bid on this in the live auction, you can become a firefighter for the day with our fabulous fire
What an
department.
opportunity.
I know. Get to ride and go out with everybody. They'll put them through their paces. Let them do the hose and get in the truck and put the gear on and have fun.
Y'all are trying to twist the arms of everybody in Grand Prairie.
I know.
Yes.
We've got some fun things.
Yes.
We've got a progressive dinner. We have a vacation house on the East Coast. We've got puppies from the shelter. We have tickets at Verizon. We've got suites at.
How did the RJC ever get into this thing? Then you're having it there
Yes.
when you could have it at the top of the Majestic Hotel or something.
No, this is a Grand Prairie event, firmly based in Grand Prairie. It needs
Yeah.
to be at our Grand Prairie venue, at our premier venue. The RJC is large enough to accommodate this very big crowd. We'll have up to 500 people attending, in addition to having to carve out space for the
Yes.
auction items.
Well, you have touched the heart of more different, I guess, area people that have come into the RJC last year that I never thought I would see inside that place.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's a great group
And-
of people come
yes,
together for this.
That's wonderful.
And Miss Ruthie, this is as pure a service as there can be, because very specifically, think about $90,000 and how many people, how many families. $90,000 is a family's life yearly what they live on, but with $90,000 we can serve 60 or 70 families. And when we talk about things for kids, technology, engineering, all that's great. But if they come to school and they don't have a place to go home and sleep that night,
Yes.
they don't have a place a table to clear off and do their homework on, or they are worried because their mom is crying about how she's going to support them, or they're afraid that 4 brothers and sisters are going to be split up and shipped off to 4 different relatives, or you got a 15 or 16-year-old high school kid literally living in a car,
Yes.
or sleeping on somebody's couch this week and somebody else's. They can't learn if they don't have their very basic needs for safety and shelter met. It's the best service I can think of, and very, very little money goes to administrative cost. And I'm taking your thing there, sorry
Yeah,
about that.
no, that's perfect. In fact, we are very low overhead. So yes, almost all dollars go straight to help, and it's not a handout; it's a hand up.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
assistance. We also work with the parents on their life skills, balancing a checkbook.
Yes.
Help them find jobs if that's what they need.
Yes.
Help them over whatever crisis they're in
And clothing.
currently.
You've done so much for not only the students, but for the parents.
We coordinate with all the other agencies in town.
Kids Inc.
Yes.
that provides clothing.
And Food and Clothing Co-op and United Charities for food. So it's not long-term assistance, it's short-term assistance, but it gets them over that hump, that crisis, and gets them in a better position, gets them employed to bring that stability back to the family. And it's just glorious to see how they really shine. These are people that really, really want to do the work themselves. They've fallen upon hard times. They're willing to do what it takes. They're not looking for a handout. They're just in a crisis, and we're there to help them.
Yeah, these are not people who are historically homeless.
Yes.
No.
These are short-term, falling on hard times, lots of single parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could be an illness. Could be lost a job. Could be
Yes.
who knows what's happened. A car broke down and they just couldn't get it fixed. It's a very rewarding group to be involved with.
Well, the one thing you haven't told me is how excited each student is to know that they are kept in the system,
Yes.
and they don't have to be thrown out like trash and then go to some other school, but keep the sequence going and help them stay in there. And I just think it's just wonderful that you've given them a new lease on life.
Yes.
The kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great organization. Now, this is our annual fundraiser, but we do things all year long to raise money. We also take contributions at any time of the year. I will say for this luncheon, if you want tickets, Janine Walker at Bon Air is our ticket seller.
Yep.
She is available at 972-264-2244.
Buy a table or one
You can buy a
place.
table or one place. I believe each individual ticket is $25. Or you can email Janine at jwalker
Yeah.
at bonairservice.com. But even though this is an annual event, Lifeline works all year long, and we take contributions all year long, and we do fundraisers all year long. So anytime someone wants to help, we welcome their inquiries.
That's wonderful. Is there anything else that you can say real good about what's going on for Lifeline Shelter? Because when we first started out through Seroptimist, the Seroptimist Club, it was slow going, and I just felt like we didn't have the support of everything in town. Now, I know you have the support of almost everything in town, because there are people that come into that RJC that have never set a foot in that place for anything else, and they show up for that every cotton picking time.
We have a dynamic, incredible board.
Yes.
I will say that the people on that board are passionate, dedicated, an incredible group of men and women
Yes.
devoted to this purpose. And if you're in crisis, we do start through the school district, and then there is an application process. You do go through some counseling. We're not able to help just every single person, because there's lots more need out there than we're able to touch.
All right, now, I want you to say something to the people that might be watching the show and watching you here, and tell them what's on your heart. Amy, you come first, and then I want the superintendent to be next.
I would encourage, if you're ever wanted to help anybody, Lifeline Shelters auction is a great time to do that. You can come to the luncheon, participate in the auction, be with a great group of people. I would encourage you to consider buying a ticket, making a donation. You can do so by calling Janine Walker at Bon Air Service here in Grand Prairie. Her number is 972-264-2244, and we look forward to seeing you at our luncheon.
Superintendent of the World, you're next.
Grand Prairie ISD is a school district that everyone in Grand Prairie can be proud of. We have grown again this year by about 800 students. Many of those are students who left our schools years ago to go to private schools, charter schools, be homeschooled. Many are students from other school districts. Some are parents who have moved to this district for the school district. The reputation is good. We had a showcase of Garner Fine Arts Academy last night. We had people waiting to get good seats yesterday morning. WIT Fine Arts Academy Film Festival is coming up. Look on the website or download the Grand Prairie ISD app on your smartphone and keep up with what's going on and come see some of these events and support our kids, because they will be making the decision about which nursing homes we'll go into someday.
Yes.
God bless you and America. You're just alike, both of you. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Miss
Amy,
Ruthie. It's always
God
a
bless
pleasure.
you for taking Lifeline, in spite of the fact that there's almost anyone in Grand Prairie, Texas that would have just a fit to get to do all of the good things that you all do. I bow 3 times to the east. God bless America. God bless America and these 2 ladies.
Thank you,
And
Miss
all of the influence that they have in the city of Grand Prairie, Texas. I would thank you for watching this show. Sometimes it is questionable, but this history tape number 672, I pray that it'll go down in history as one of the best outreach, heartfelt things that we have for the city of Grand Prairie, Texas. Thank you for watching our show.